I want to get a chance to talk to you a little bit here today about working with Cutco owners and particularly selling to Cutco owners. Cutco owners can be some of our best clients to see, but a lot of times when people are new and they're first starting on the job, they almost see that as sort of a negative thing, like it's a missed opportunity. Someone else beat you to the punch, so to speak. But the thing you have to understand is that when we get the chance to see Cutco owners, there are a million great things that are going to happen with this. First off, they already are sold on the product. Their product conviction is through the roof. And not only are they going to have this great natural enthusiasm, but the stories and time you'll spend with them, it's going to make you better at talking about Cutco to other clients as well. The reality is they're already sold on the product. They already know what Cutco cost. They already have self-identified as someone that understands the value and could get good use out of the products that we have to offer to our clients. When we get a chance to meet with Cutco owners, never pass up that opportunity. They really are the best to see, and Cutco owners love to add to their collection, and they love to buy more knives as long as we present things the right way. A couple quick tips to sort of keep in mind, and then we're going to actually turn this over to Danny Feldman, who's going to get a chance to share some of his experience on his first few demos, getting the opportunity to meet with Cutco owners. You want to make sure that you go ahead and do your normal demo. You want to do your traditional presentation that you would always do. And it's okay just to tell them, hey, like I told you on the phone, I am new and I need some practice. So I'm still going to go through the information with you. A lot of this will be review, but at the end, I'll show you some of the new fun stuff and some cool options that we have for preferred customers like yourself. So you want to set it up that it's a positive thing that they already have Cutco. It's not a negative thing, it's a great thing. Okay, in your training manual towards the very front, it has some notes that if a customer already owns Cutco, do a full presentation. It's great practice, and many customers forget important details. Ask them for a customer testimonial. That's so key. Even if you just take a sheet of paper and say, hey, what's your name? How long have you had it? And anything you'd have to say about it. Okay? I keep a happy customer list of Cutco owners in my binder. And it's literally just a one line, hey, this is Amy Graff. She's had Cutco for 15 years. And she goes, oh my gosh, sharpest knives in the world. Or what a great buy. Or this was such an awesome investment. So getting that for them is huge. Have them test their Cutco on the rope when you actually get to that point. And so a lot of times it'll help them see that maybe stuff they have needs to be sharpened. And again, we can get them that info and help get it done. And that way you're really adding value with your time here. Now, the big thing though is when it does come to Cutco owners, just like our normal drop down we do with clients, you need a strategy, you need a process to go through this. Your demo is unchanged. Maybe the only thing that you go light on is the junk knife section. But otherwise, everything else, you still hit all the same points. Customers think they remember things that they don't. And you guys assume they'll remember things they do not. I've had customers say, man, I love my Cutco, but gosh, the only thing that make it better is if it was American made. I really like to buy American. And I just kind of laughed and looked at them. I was like, Cutco is absolutely American made. That's probably one of the reasons you bought it. I've had customers where they broke a Cutco knife, and instead of sending it in for servicing, they literally threw it in the trash because they thought, oh, it was my fault. It broke, and so I guess I'll buy another one down the line. You'll have customers who say, oh, I own everything. I have the big set. And then you get there and it's an Essentials Plus 5. So there's no reason why customers would remember all these details 7 years later, 2 years later, 20 years later. So go in there understanding that you want to go ahead and arm them with information. Throughout your demo, you're going to do your normal demo. Now, you're going to really remind them, even for the pieces they have, on what they're used for. But you also want to remind them what they're not used for. Hey, this paring knife you have, I know you guys, I bet you use it a lot. Perfect for peeling potatoes, taking the tops off of strawberries, but it's never meant to be used on a cutting board, okay? That'll dull it out. That's why you need your utility knife. And so in your manual, it has a lot of these transitions that are baked in. Here's what it's used for. Here's what it's not used for. Beyond that, once you get to the end, what do you do in that last part? Okay, what should our goals be to actually get a chance to go through the different set options, upgrades, closes, things like that? Well, the reality is our goal, as you're going to see in this video, when we meet with customers, just like when we meet with a new client, our goal is to try and hook them up with a set. We always start with the homemaker. When we meet with a Cutco owner, my number one goal is also to sell them a set. That is always the goal. When I was a new rep, I thought that was weird. Why would someone buy a set of Cutco if they already have a set of Cutco? It's guaranteed forever. Upgrades made sense. Maybe they go from an Essentials to a Homemaker or a Galley to an Ultimate set, but I didn't necessarily appreciate why they would want to buy a set. Well, here's what you have to understand. It's not a weird thing at all for someone who has a set of Cutco to want to buy another set of Cutco. Around the time I got my BMW several years ago, one of my mentors also got a BMW. traditionally had driven bigger cars, Escalades, Navigators, things like that. And he knew he wanted a BMW, but it was hard to pull the trigger on the one he wanted. Okay, the one he really wanted was a 7 Series. But you know, $80, $90, $100,000 for that was a lot to do the first time he bought a BMW. So instead, he bought a 3 Series. It didn't take very long at all before he fell in love with it. And he said, oh my gosh, I love this BMW. Why the heck didn't I get the one I actually wanted? And so a lot of times that happens with people who buy Cutco. They wanted a big set, but they never spent that much on knives before. And so a lot of times they settle for a smaller gift set or a starter set or even a homemaker when really they should have had an ultimate or a signature set. None of these are uncommon. And so it's not a weird thing for my mentor who bought that 3 Series BMW to get that 7 Series. Now, it doesn't mean the 3 Series doesn't have use or value. It doesn't mean it's not worth having. It doesn't mean he drives it into a ditch. What it means instead is he's going to find a way to repurpose that set. In his case, his wife, her lease was running out, so he said, hey, I tell you what, I really want to get that 7. How would you feel about taking over this new 3 Series? That'll be your car, and I'll go get the 7 I wanted. And he did. One of my friends got into golfing, so he went and looked at a nice bag of clubs. And he ended up getting not the one that had been really recommended to him. He got one that was a little bit cheaper. Not quite as good a quality, but still good. Not a bad set. But as he got into it, he said, man, I really love this. I kind of wish I had gotten those Titleists that I really wanted. And so what he did is he went ahead and got that new set of clubs. Now, he didn't throw the old clubs away. They still had use and value. But what he did instead is he said, hey, when my brother comes into town, he loves to golf and I want to golf with him, he doesn't need to bring his clubs here from San Diego. When my dad wants to go to the links, if I want to hit the driving range with someone, if my wife decides she wants to pick up golfing, it's not a crazy thing to have that extra set of clubs anyway. It's no different than you have an iPhone, okay? I bet everyone I'm talking to has some kind of smartphone, and it's a great phone, and it's more powerful than like all NASA computers combined when we went to the moon, okay? But a year or two later, a new one comes out. Well, it doesn't mean that your current phone is garbage. It means you'll find something else to do with it, and you'll upgrade to that newer phone you're excited about. And maybe what you do with it is you give it to a family member. Maybe you sell it to a friend. Who knows what you do, but you'll find a way to repurpose it. The same is true with Cutco. I can't tell you how many times I've had customers give their set to their kids who are getting married, or put their set at their lake house, or give their set to the church, like their 25-year-old set, because they really want that SIG now, and they even want a different color. So what they did instead is they donated their old set to their church to be used for food prep there, working with a homeless shelter, and then they got the new set that they were really excited about. These things are all very normal. You just have to present that as a very realistic option to your clients. So you can see on the screen right now, we have a drop-down process, just like we go from a homemaker, galley, starter sets, all the way to a custom order. There's a process we meet with Cutco owners as well. Our number one goal is to always sell them a set. After that, we'll do a set upgrade. We'll offer the half upgrade, which is the gourmet set, and then we'll go through and do a custom order using the wish list. Now, the wish list is in your training manual. I believe it's on page 13. So when you go through that option, your wish list should have everything from flatware, cookware. You want your wish list to be as big as you can possibly make it. The larger your wish list is, the easier it is to then call your manager, to call the office, and say, my client is looking at flatware, these extra 4 knives, garden tools, a hunting knife, and they really want that entertainer pack. And I was just curious, what kind of discount could we make since they're a Cutco owner? I know they get a preferred discount. I wanted to see what was available for them. You call the office, you take a picture of that wish list, you can text it to your captain or your manager, and they can really help you work some great deals. So just understand, with Cutco owners, your expectations should not be lower, they should be higher. And the reality is there's 18, 19 million families out there who own Cutco. Don't shy away from them. In fact, those should be some of the top people you see. For my part, I have sold over $750,000 worth of Cutco personally, and I would say about 60% of my customers already had Cutco when I first got there. So it's not a bad thing. It's such an overwhelmingly positive thing, and I can't wait for all of you to have the experience of meeting with Cutco owners. So we're going to turn on this video over to Danny Feldman. Danny is one of the top trainers that we've ever had in the entire company. Started here in the Dallas area all the way back in 2002 or 2003, and got a chance to progress and become a division manager, and ran the division out in New Orleans very successfully for many years. At this point, he is actually has his own startup outside the company and is just killing it. But Danny's a dear friend and one of the most talented trainers that we've ever had. Now, Danny had an interesting experience where his very first demos out of training were all to Cutco owners, and he really gets a chance to kind of explain what that process looked like for him and the kind of results he could create. So let's turn it over to Danny Feldman.
A lot of times in training, half your group who's going to see all Cutco owners, then the other half who's not. So I like to tell the story of my first 3 demos so that I can teach about upgrades and getting larger orders to people who already have Cutco. I want to tell you the story of my first demo. It was to my ex-girlfriend's mom. It wasn't weird or anything, but I walked into the house and sitting right there on the countertop, she had a Homemaker Plus 8 sale. I went to a private school in Dallas where they had already seen a lot of Cutco representatives over the years, so I really didn't see clients who didn't have Cutco. So this had to be something I got really good at. So I go into the first demo, she's already got a Homemaker Plus 8, and instantly in my mind I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to sell a Homemaker because she's already got one. So my manager though, they told me to do the demo just like regular. So I went through the manual, I was doing it for practice. I get to the part in the manual that says, hey, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, do you want to get the Homemaker Plus 8 set? And I'm literally turning the page and she says, I'll take it. And I'm like, are you serious? She goes, yeah, I'll take it. I'm like, are you sure? Like I'm trying to talk her out of the sale, you know? And she goes, yeah, I'll take it. Listen, I've had this Homemaker Plus 8 for a while. I'm just going to give it to my son who's getting his first place, and I'll get the new Homemaker Plus 8 from you to help you out. And when this happened, I mean, my eyes were opened. This is not something that I'd learned in training. I learned more from my first customer than I did in 3 days of training because I knew I was going to go see a lot of Cutco owners. So my first lesson that I learned is that if I see somebody who already has Cutco, the first thing I want to try and sell them is always going to be a what? Well, it's going to be a set. And does it matter what set you sell? No, you just want to sell a set every single time. So the second demo that I did was to Trisha Richardson. And Mrs. Richardson, I walked in the house. She already had a Homemaker Plus 8, just like my first client. So what do you think I sold to her? Well, I sold her an Ultimate. This was my big fish customer. This was the person that I knew was my best client. I was targeting her for a bigger order. So I went into my second demo equipped this time. So when I saw the Homemaker Plus 8, I gave her some ideas of what she could do with it. Maybe give it away to family members, put it at another house, send it to the lake house. But I knew she had a lake house, so that was really the one that she keyed into. So I talked to her about sending the Homemaker Plus 8 to the lake house so they could have good knives there and just getting the Ultimate set for the home. And that's what she ended up doing. And before you knew it, I was really on a roll with selling to Cutco owners. So again, even if I'm seeing somebody with Cutco, the first option I'm always going to try and sell is a set. And it doesn't matter what set, I just want to sell a set. Mentally, as a representative, I thought to myself, if they've already invested this much money in Cutco, it's not far-fetched to think they would still do the same thing again because they love the product. So I always expected to get the same size order or better if I saw a Cutco owner. The third demo that I did was the example I gave earlier where the lady had a trimmer and a paring knife. So I walk in, what do you think I tried to sell her? Yeah, I tried to sell her a set. And how would I sell a Homemaker Plus 8 to somebody who's already got a couple of the pieces that come in the Homemaker set? Well, what I can do is I can offer guidance as to what to do with those pieces. If she got the Homemaker Plus 8, she would now have doubles of the paring knife and the trimmer. And with those doubles, she could take the used ones that she's always had, put it in the new block, take the two new ones out of the block, put it in a gift box, and now she's got a great wedding gift. She's got a great gift for friends and family. I don't know about you, but my grandma always keeps a couple knickknacks in the closet for a rainy day. What a better gift to have than a couple pieces of Cutco. Or if it's just her favorite pieces, she can have doubles, put these in the drawer, send them to another house, whatever it is that she wants to do. So even if I saw a customer who had pieces, I would still certainly try and sell them a set. If I couldn't sell them a set, what would my drop down be? Well, my drop down would be what's called an upgrade, right? And I always want to upgrade customers. This is such a popular option for our company that it's a couple major sections of our price list, in fact. So how would I actually upgrade the lady who has the paring knife and the trimmer? I'd sell her the rest of the knives she doesn't have, plus the block, plus the table knives. Congratulations, she is now upgraded. Could I upgrade somebody with a paring knife and a trimmer to a studio set, for example? Well, certainly. Just sell her the piece she doesn't have, plus the block and table knives. Congratulations, she has a studio. Could I upgrade somebody from a Homemaker to an Ultimate, a Signature to an Ultimate, a Galley to a Homemaker? Anything is possible. Just figure out the piece they don't have, the new block, and the table knives, and congratulations, you have now sold in the upgrade. By the way, the upgrades are going to be right around the same price as a set, so it's just as good as selling them a set if you complete their set. And does it matter what set you sell? No, you just want to sell a what? A set every single time. So if I couldn't upgrade my customer, what then would be my drop down from that? Well, my drop down from that would be the gourmet set. The gourmet set is what we call the half upgrade. It's not the full upgrade to an ultimate or a signature. It's about half the pieces, comes with a block, no additional table knives, and it's half the price at about $650 of a full upgrade to a homemaker or from a homemaker to an ultimate. So we do have a drop-down option, which is called the half upgrade, and the gourmet set is specifically for customers who already own Cutco or have a homemaker set as it is. On the price list, we have the homemaker pieces section. Does anybody know why we have the homemaker pieces section on the front page? It's because upgrades are so popular, you need to know how to do them, and these pieces will tell you what they don't have and how to upgrade somebody. So I'm always either going to sell a set, an upgrade, or if nothing else, the half upgrade, but I'm always thinking bigger about this first weekend. People aren't just going to pass their first promotion their first weekend. We're easily going to have reps who sell $2,000, $3,000, $6,000, even $10,000 their first weekend because they're really paying attention. They're super engaged in the information that we're covering right now. The information that I'm providing in this section is the most influential information towards your earning potential for the first weekend. So make sure you follow along and pay attention. Once I have figured out what set the customer is actually going to get, I will then take them through the gifts and accessories portion of the demo. The first thing that we come to is the specialty knives. Can anybody guess why these are first to show to our customers? Because this is the upgrade to the ultimate or signature. This page plus homemaker is what comes in the ultimate. So when you have a customer as a homemaker plus 8 and they want to upgrade, you will simply sell them this page plus the block and the extra table knives. Congratulations, you have upgraded them. But these are some of our more popular knives for customization, adding on to different orders. I don't go through all the specifics of what they do, but the customer can read them for themselves. These are some of our specialty and more popular pieces as well, but this is how you'd upgrade somebody to an ultimate or a signature. We have over 200 products in the book to show. So when you sell a homemaker plus 8 on your first demo, you've got 199 other things to sell them. Gifts and accessories will indicate to you where to get it started. The first thing we come to is additional table knives. And I'm going to tell you this is a very popular option. Don't be surprised when your customer gets a homemaker plus 8 and then 4 additional table knives in a block and a tray to put in the drawer, specifically because they need the extra table knives for when guests come over. But if I didn't talk about it, would I ever sell it? Probably not. So you can get them in blocks, trays, gift boxes. They come in 4, 6, 8, or 12. And we have 2 options for the table knives. You can get the thermoresin handles, which are fantastic, or you can get the all stainless surgical, which are fantastic as well. And these are more popular for somebody who already has a homemaker, maybe wants to set out some nice ones for when they have guests over. But if I don't talk about it, I'm not going to sell it. Oftentimes our representatives will sell a homemaker with a grill. And so that's where they would get the homemaker plus 8, but instead of the regular table knives, they get the all stainless table knives, which look nicer, set them out for guests. And so I want you to talk about this with your customers today. Figure out how many extra table knives they'll need with their homemaker or their galley or their studio, certainly. The next big popular gifts and accessory is going to be the flatware. I don't know about your mom, but my mom really wanted everything to match. So if she's going to get the world's best knives, might as well have the flatware that matches the handle of all the knives and the table knives she's setting out at the table. These are sold in what are called place settings. So depending on how many plates they set out would tell you how many place settings they need. They come in the stainless surgical handles as well, and these are much nicer for when people have guests over. Customers have way more forks and spoons than they do knives, so trust me, this is an exceptionally popular option. But if you don't talk about it, you would never sell it. They've got the really nice handles, great for table knives, and anybody can use them. They're ergonomic, dishwasher safe, made in the U.S., and they are absolutely fantastic. But if you don't talk about them, would you ever sell them? No, probably not. These are especially great for our homemaker and Cutco owners already. Because they've already invested in the knives, it's time to make the rest of their kitchen match and get the flatware. So selling flatware is just as good, if not better, than selling a set. So again, if you don't talk about it, you would never sell it, but flatware is a very popular option.